Okay, hello everybody, Whispering Willow here with your Wisdom Wednesday tarot reading. So for this one, I'm doing it a little bit differently. I got a new deck. It's the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacy DeMarco, and I've never used it before. And so I'm wanting to take it on a test run to see what I think about it. So for this reading, we're going to focus on your spirit animal. And the message that your spirit animal can't talk. The message that your spirit animal has for you this week. For the focal points, I have candles, and they represent the elements. The red candle is fire. The blue candle is water. The yellow candle is air, and the green candle is earth. So if you want to, there's several different ways that you can do this one. You can pick. If you know what your element is, you can pick it that way. You could just pick a candle that you're drawn to the most, the number that you're most attracted to. So for group 1, that is the fire candle. Group 2, that is the water candle. Group 3, that is the air candle. And group 4, that is the earth candle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Just pause the video, take a minute. See which one that you're drawn to the most, and we'll go ahead and see what your spirit animal has to say for you. Okay, so pile number 1. If you chose this pile, you chose the candle of fire. So like I said earlier, I'm doing my spread a little bit differently. This spread is actually one that is in the book for the Divine Animals Oracle. And it is her 4-element spread, I think is what she calls it. So first off, let's go ahead and address what card is which element. So the first card is Earth. That's this card right here. This one is air, this is fire, and this is water. So let's just go ahead and get right to it. So your Earth is the honeybee. I love this card. Fun fact, the honeybee is one of my power totems. Okay, and then your air. Ooh, okay. The lioness, which is protection. And your fire. Focus. There we go. The butterfly, which is the soul. And then your water. Wow, the Wolverine. Okay. Fire was a good choice for you guys, pile number 1. You are a very fiery pile. Okay. And then your tarot cards. The Knave of Swords, which this is from my Book of Shadows tarot. And your Knave of Wands. Now, Knave is the page for those who know traditional tarot. Okay, so before I delve into it, pile number 1, I feel like you have really undergone a transformation of self, especially when you look at these two cards together. The Knave of Swords, that's not going to work. The Knave of Swords and the Knave of Wands tells me of great conflict and great action on your part. And it's not necessarily caused by an outside force. This is telling me that you experimented with your ideas and you discovered who you are truly. So I feel like that this is more inner than it is outward. And I mean, this definitely could have been caused by one specific event, but I feel like that this has been in the works now for quite a while, especially when you get to this. Now, I'm going to have to consult this because I've never used this spread before. Earth. Your Earth is your true issue. So let's just go ahead and look at this. I cannot say that word. Focus. 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 It does not want to focus. There we go. Reciprocity. I'm not going to even try. I feel like when you look at everything else too, it's almost like you discovered your voice again. Here, let's go ahead and read from here, because I feel like some of the lines from this book are going to be really important for you. Because the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the honeybee is community and working with others. So your true issue, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Your true issue was learning how to work with others, and not only that, learning how to work with others and how to ask for help. Because like I was saying, it's almost like you discovered yourself and your voice again, especially when you go to this card, which is the air card. Let me get back to the spread. How can you solve it? So how can you solve being comfortable working with others and trusting others? And this has to deal with protection. The lioness wants you to know that you're always protected, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel. You are always protected by not only physical beings, but also by metaphysical beings. You got a huge army of ancestors behind you. I'm starting to talk too fast. You got this huge army of ancestors behind you, and like they're just a constant cheerleading team. They're always rooting for you. So your ancestors want you to know, and not just your ancestors, but your spirit animal as well, that even though you may not feel safe around others, even though you may feel like you can't trust others, even though you feel like you have to constantly fight fire with fire, they want you to know, like I was saying earlier, the lioness says that you're always protected, no matter how you may feel. And when you come over here, this is your fire card. What emotions can you bring to this situation or help release? And I'm definitely going to read this from the book, because this is very important. This is very important for you to know. So let's go ahead and get into the book. The butterfly, which is the soul. Okay. There we go. To experience our full selves, we often go through difficult periods of transformation and growth. Trust what you feel. We all have stages to pass through in life, and not all are easy. Look ahead to where you wish to be, not where you have been. Self-trust and trust of your partner are necessary for a positive relationship. So like I was saying earlier, this is learning. You are learning how to work with others and trust others. You have had a complete reconstruction of self. I don't know what exactly happened. I'm not going to delve into that. But this reminds me of when I first met my husband, and I'll talk about it sometime. But when I first met my husband, I came from a very abusive household, and my world was completely turned upside down when I met him. And it was like, oh, this is what normalcy is like. I'm almost getting that feel, like you had your world completely turned upside down by something, and you had to reconstruct from the bottom up, and you had to learn how to work with people and how to trust people again, and everything in between. Like, I'm just repeating myself at this point. There was something that caused you to retreat inward, and you completely reconstructed yourself and learn how to trust people again. That's what I'm trying to say. And water, how do I move on from this issue, which is fierceness? I don't even need to look into the book for this. Go into everything with the fire that you got in your soul, because this goes hand in hand with the fire element that you guys picked. Go hand in hand, you know, just see how this Viking is just charging into battle and just screaming and like, I'm not afraid. That's the embodiment of the Wolverine. Just go through this issue that you've got going on right now. Just go through it and do so without fear. It's going to be hard for you to learn how to trust others at first, but once when you can, your life is going to be completely changed. Your life is going to be changed for the better. Okay, so pile number 1, to recap. The issue that you've got going on right now has to deal with your willingness to work with others, not even willingness, your ability to work with others, your ability to be able to trust people. You want to reach out to people and you want to have that connection, but something keeps holding you back. Something keeps pulling you back, and you know, be that negative voice, what have you. Something keeps pulling you back to make you want to be afraid to trust people again. And your spirit guides want you to know, and I feel like it's so important to reiterate this again. You are the embodiment of the lioness, of the Wolverine. You are protected no matter what you may feel. You are safe. You are loved. I'm starting to get out of breath because it's just like, they want you to know that you are safe no matter what you may feel, no matter what you may think. To let go, not even let go, but just release. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. They release what happened in the past and live in the present. And it's going to take time. It's going to be hard. I, above anyone else, know that. And your guide, your animal, your spirit animal knows this too, that it's going to take time. So be patient with yourself. Your spirit animal is being patient with you, and so are your ancestors. They're all being patient with you. So be patient with yourself too. That's another lesson that you need to take away from this. Be patient with yourself as you learn how to work with others and how to trust others again. Okay, that was a really good reading. That one felt really good. I hope that this one resonated with you guys and that it helped you unlock that part of your being that you are so desperately wanting to unlock yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and thank the fire spirit. Thank you so much for your help and guidance. Please help the readers, the clients, the viewers, there we go, that picked pile number 1, to go at this like the Wolverine, with no fear, with no hesitation, and just thank you for your guidance. Okay, that's it, pile number 1. Have a blessed day. Okay, pile number 2. If you chose this pile, you chose the Candle of Water. Now, before we go ahead and get started, I've never used this spread before, so I wanted to point out what all the positions mean. This is the 4 elements spread that is included in the Divine Animals Oracle book. So this card is your Earth card. This card is your Air card. Fire and Water. And I also drew 2 tarot cards from my Book of Shadows tarot. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So your Earth card is the Bull, which means sacrifice. Your second card, your Air card, is the Meerkat, which means responsibility. Third card, your Fire card, is Swan, which means beauty. Okay, and your fourth card is your water, is the sea turtle, which means stability. It's a really pretty card. Okay, and the two tarots that I drew, it's the King of Wands and the Hangman reversed. Okay, so, I mean, the message is pretty clear to me. You sacrifice yourself too much, especially with these two cards right here. The King of Wands means basically putting others' needs before yours. It's helping others achieve the goals that they want. You see how this is a leader card. They're leading them to what they desire. But with the Hanged Man, you're doing this, the Hanged Man means unnecessary sacrifice when it's in the reverse position. So it's telling me that you are sacrificing yourself needlessly to help others achieve what they want, especially when you get into your element spread. The Earth card is, totally just dropped my headset. Your Earth card is the Bull, like I was saying earlier. And that is, what is the true issue? And once again, you got another sacrifice card. So, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It's almost like, it's just putting your others' needs before yours, like a mother who sacrifices everything for her children, a friend who is her friend's therapist all the time, is that sort of thing. Now, coincidentally enough, the Air card is, how can you solve this? How can you solve this needless, unnecessary sacrifice, which is responsibility? So like I was saying, like, it was just a mother who was putting her needs ahead of, or her children's needs ahead of hers. A friend that was, I feel like it's more like a friend who is a constant therapist for their friends. And you need to be responsible for your own feelings, for sure. But you also need to help others realize, look, I'm not going to bail you out all the time. I'm not going to always give you that advice. I need to put myself first sometimes, you know? So how can you solve this problem is by making others be more responsible. 10 words or less. And then your Fire, what emotions can you bring to this to help achieve this? How can you achieve not being a martyr? I worded that really bad, but you get what I'm saying. And then this card, it's Beauty. So let's go ahead and read this from the book. The first thing that comes to my mind before we go ahead and read the excerpt from the book is to deny gracefully and with beauty, like an almost like an Audrey Hepburn kind of feel. In the book, it says, beauty is all around us. If we care to observe it, the natural world provides so much of it. However, remember, beauty is highly subjective. Love yourself first and know yourself. Look for the beauty in the situation. Ask, and your questions will be answered. So, tying in with denying with grace and beauty, remember to put yourself first. Remember your self-worth. Something I'm sure everybody, or almost all of you, have seen the documentary that Shane Dawson did with Jeffree Star. And something that Jeffree said really stuck with me, and that was, know your worth. Know what you are worth. Know that you deserve to put yourself first every now and then. You don't always have to crucify yourself to make other people happy. You deserve that happiness that you're giving away so freely. And then finally, let me get back to my spread. Water. How can I move on from this issue? And that is the sea turtle, which is stability. And you know too, like the sea turtle just gracefully moves with the currents, just goes with the ebbs and flows, doesn't deny, let me rephrase that, doesn't force himself to go against the current, doesn't try to change things, doesn't try to do things that put himself at risk. And I want to read from the book for this one too, because I feel like it's really important. It's number 8. Where is it? Number 8. Where are you? That's right, Ronan. You tell him. You tell him. Operating from a stable base is advantageous. Is, my gosh, I sound like a complete moron when I stutter like that. If you need help and guidance, ask for it. As you are loved and supported, delve deeply into the study of something rather than just skimming the surface. Do not push hard for what you want all the time. Like I was saying, go with the flow. Instead, set an intention or direction and steadily flow towards this. Not every journey needs to be difficult and full of drama. So I think also too, here, let me pick up my baby. I think also too, that goes in hand with that is acceptance. You know, like not everybody is going to be able to go through life without hiccups. Everybody has hiccups and you can't prevent that. Everybody has to accept the fact that sometimes you're going to trip and that's okay. Everybody does. The important thing to remember is when you trip, you've got to remember to stand up when you fall. So I think that's something you really need to take away from this, is to remember to accept that you can't change fates. You can't change accidents. Sometimes lessons need to be learned the hard way. You can't prevent that. And you need to stop sacrificing yourself needlessly to help prevent people from learning lessons, because sometimes the only way you can learn a lesson is by learning it the hard way. Like with some kids put their hand in hot water, and I mean, it's tough to say, but sometimes you just gotta learn that way. You know what I mean? So take away from this this. Do not sacrifice yourself needlessly. Your spirit guides, your spirit animal, your ancestors, everyone wants to know that it's not your responsibility to make others not fall. It's, if you want to be there for them, you can be, but it's not your responsibility to prevent them from tripping. And they also want you to know you need to put yourself first. It's really important that you do that. Okay, pile number 2. I hope that resonates with you. Please let me know if it did. Let's go ahead and thank the Spirit of Water for its guidance today. Spirit of Water, thank you so much for offering us your guidance and your wisdom. Please help pile number 2 achieve the ebb and flow that you so easily display every day. Please help pile number 2 learn that they need to put themselves first. And please help pile number 2 know how to deny gracefully and with beauty. All right, let's go to pile number 3. Okay, hello, my pile 3. If you chose this pile, you chose the Candle of Air. Now, before we get started, I want to go ahead and talk about the spread because it is different from what I usually do on my channel. So this is the 4 element spread. This is a spread that is included in the Divine Animals Oracle book that comes with the deck that I'm using, this deck here. Okay, so this first card is Earth. This second card is Air. This is Fire, and this is Water. I also drew 2 tarot cards from my Book of Shadows tarot. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? First card, your Earth, is hair, and this is actually the reason why I got this deck. I absolutely love this card. It's so beautiful. Just look at that. Oh, and it's like, it instantly reminds me of spring and just change. And I can't say that word. But look at this. Oh, it is just so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Okay, the second card is the Beaver. And this is your air card. And this means work. Okay, and your third card is Fire. And this is the Elephant, which means leadership. You guys have been suffering at work, haven't you? Yep. Your third card is Water, and this is the Jaguar. I talk to my British friends too much. I keep wanting to say it the British way. And then the 2 tarot cards I drew is the 8 of Pentacles. You guys have been suffering at work big time, haven't you? Yep. King of Pentacles reversed. You guys have been suffering at work really bad. Okay, so these 2 cards really confirm it. Okay, so this one means sloppy. This means sloppy work. And I feel like this is you right now because of this. Because this card means control. You are being controlled by a boss. And you're also trying to control something that should have died a long time ago. And the reason why I say that is because of the hair card. Okay, so this is your Earth card. This is what the true issue is. And like I said, this means cycles. And this card, it literally means what it sounds like. Everything has a time. Everything has a place. There is a season for everything. And you are letting something go on that should have stopped a long time ago. And it directly ties in with this too. Your boss is controlling you big time, and it may not necessarily be your boss either. It could just be the environment. You could have like one coworker that you are working with that is really, it should not be working with you. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. It makes me mad seeing this because this person, whoever this is, whether it be your boss, it could be a coworker, it could be a frequent customer or what have you. There's one person in your life, specifically in your workplace, that is controlling you big time, and it makes me mad. And because of that, it's making your work suffer big time. So this card, what it's telling you is that you are letting something go on that should have stopped a long time ago. Especially when you come to this card, the Beaver card. This is the position is air, and it's how can you solve this problem. So the Beaver is a hard worker, right? And the Beaver takes a lot of pride in his work. The Beaver also doesn't sacrifice quality for quantity. And the Beaver also knows when to rest and when to work. And usually the Beaver is his own boss. So what you can do to solve this problem that you've got going on is to take this by the reins and solve it yourself, whether that be with quitting or reporting this person to HR or what have you. You need to take control and be your own boss. That's literally what this card means. Let's go ahead and read what the book says. Okay. The Beaver. To love your work is a gift. Find balance between work and rest. Yep. It is worth aligning your work with your purpose if you can. Being positively, mindfully engaged in your work, no matter what it might be, is healthy. Someone may be attempting to micromanage you at your job, and this is not an optimum way to work. Perhaps it's time to be your own boss. Like I said, you got to take control. You got to take that control back that this person took away from you, and literally, like, don't literally say this, but like, F off, man. You can't control me. I've got this control. You can't take this power away from me. You know what I mean? Especially here, let me get back to my spread because I don't. Fire. What emotions can you bring to this, guys? It's literally leadership. You are a boss. You are your own boss. Nobody can take control of you, and you need to realize this, and you need to make this other person realize this too. You have this control and this strength and sturdy. Like the elephant is very, very sturdy, right? It's very hard to knock an elephant down. So you've got this. You've got this strength and sturdiness, and you need to realize this, and you need to make whoever this person is, let's go back over. Whoever this person is, you need to make them realize this too, and you need to take that power back. And then finally, water. How do I move on from this issue? It literally, release, guys. Just release. Just walk away. I typically don't advise walking away from a job because, you know, I get it. Like, especially in this day and age, you know, like you've got to have money. I get that, but you are sacrificing so much. You are suffering so much, and it makes me so mad. I literally want to go to this person and just slap them upside the head. That's my former manager talking, though. I used to be a manager, for those who didn't know, and this makes me so mad, guys. It makes me so mad. So, pile number 3. You need to realize that the cycle is done with. You need to take back that control, take back being a boss, okay? And release. You need to let go. And I usually don't advise that kind of stuff, but that's literally what this spread is telling me. Take with it what you will. I'm not telling you to do it. You don't have to do this. But you gotta take, I am telling you for sure, you've got to take back that control. You are such a strong individual, pile number 3. You guys are so strong. And this person, whoever it is, took that realization away from you and need to take that realization back. Okay, so pile number 3. Thank you. I hope that resonates with you. Let's go ahead and thank the element of air for giving us that guidance and wisdom. Air, thank you so much for giving us your guidance and your wisdom. Please help pile number 3 realize their strength and their power like you. Air, you are so powerful. You can knock down buildings if you want to. And please help pile number 3 realize this. And also help pile number 3 realize that sometimes you need to just let it go. Okay, thank you so much, Air. Okay, let's go ahead and go to pile number 4. Earth, it's your turn. Okay, pile number 4. If you chose this pile, you chose the Earth candle. Now, you guys also are the only ones that got a card that jumped out. So this message, it's a very important one, and it's one that's been trying to be conveyed for a very long time. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and explain the spread real fast. This is the 4 element spread that comes with the book in the Divine Animals Oracle deck. This card is your Earth card. This is air. This is fire. and this is water. And I also drew 2 tarot cards from my Book of Shadows deck. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna save this one for last. Oh, I don't do them upside down. Okay, so your first card, your earth, is the cat, which means intuition. Your second card, which is the air, is the snake, and that says creation. Your fire, polar bear, ancestors. If you guys are, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now, you guys are either on a spiritual journey or you're going to be on one very soon. Your next one is the Falcon, and this is your water. Yeah, you guys have got a lot of magical energies with you guys, pile number 4. Okay, the tarot cards that I drew were the King of Chalices, which is the King of Cups, or Knight of Chalices. That's what I get for looking through the camera. Knight of Chalices, which is, once again, is the Cups. You guys got a lot of magical stuff behind you, man. Lots and lots. And then the Tower. And let's go ahead and look at this one. Owl. Okay. So, like I was saying, you guys are either on a spiritual quest or journey, or you're going to be soon. And someone is going to be calling to you soon or shortly. And they're going to be represented with an owl. The owl for deities, if you want to go that path, you don't have to. But the owl is Athena. The Morgan, which I follow her, she can be represented with owls. I recommend looking it up. The owls are also, it could actually be your spirit animal. Like, this is your spirit guide right here, which the owls, they teach wisdom and trusting your gut, how to be a hunter, being silent while you're hunting, and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the tarot cards. So the Knight of Chalices, which is also the Knight of Cups, means imagination, creation, manifestation. It's telling me that you've got great magical potential, but at the same time with this card, you're denying yourself that. There's something that is called, or some particular event maybe, that caused you to self-doubt. And we'll get into that in a minute because that ties heavily with this card. But, so this is telling me that you have great magical potential. And, you know, magical doesn't necessarily mean like the way I do it. It could be as simple as praying for people. You've got this great gift, but for some reason you're denying yourself that gift. And with this card, the Tower, this means that you had some particular unexpected event that caused you to self-doubt. And it also is telling me that this one particular event also caused this massive awakening. So it's a piggyback. So you've got 2 events, one specific event that caused you to doubt, and one specific event that caused like this massive awakening, instead of it being like baby steps like it was for a lot of people. It caused everything to just flood open. The floodgates were open and everything rushed in. Now this could be what we currently have going on in the world right now. So COVID-19, that could have made you realize that you have this gift and you're not utilizing it. And maybe like there's some kind of guilt because you're not like helping people to your full potential or what have you. And it just caused this floodgate to open, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so let me take a drink real fast because I'm losing my voice. Okay. So with this card, this is your Earth card. This is what you are currently, what is the current issue? So like I was saying, you're not trusting yourself. It's intuition. and you're not trusting yourself. You're second guessing every single step that you make, and you have a lot of self-doubt because of that. So there's just a lot of self-doubt, a lot of second guessing. There we go. There's a lot of second guessing. And like, speaking personally, I did that a lot when I first started, and I still do. I think everybody does to a certain extent. It's like, oh my gosh, I talk to dead people now. Am I nuts? You know, it's that kind of thing. You always second guess yourself, but it's important for you to not let that hold you back. You know what I mean? Especially when you got this. Okay, and we're going to read what this says in the book, but let me go and tell you, this is your error card, and this is what you can do to solve the current issue at hand. So what can you do to fix this? And this literally means manifestation, guys. This literally means working with the energy and just doing it. But at the same time, you know, I know you got that doubt. So let's go ahead. I'm really losing my voice, man. Let's go ahead and read what this says from the book. Okay. It is time to shed your skin and try something new. Creation is your birthright. You must understand that to remain stagnant means atrophy. So do not fear your own creative flow. If you have a physical ailment, healing will occur. You are capable of big transformation. If you haven't begun, begin. So that ties in directly with what I was saying. You know, like you've got all this potential, but you've got that doubt, and you're second guessing every single step that you're taking. Your spirit guide wants you to know you don't have to do that. You've got everything you need within you. It's just you don't allow yourself to access your birthright. So maybe like let's use an example, a personal example. I have a Native American friend who is actually can't remember if it was his grandfather or not, but his shamanism really runs heavily in his family, and he was denying that birthright of his for so long, and it really started to affect him. You can't deny what makes you you. You can't do that. You've got to let yourself and your soul prosper and do what makes you feel complete. And, you know, if anybody questions what you do, I get it. It's hard, especially like for me. My husband's family really doesn't like the fact that I'm a witch. And I let it impact me for so long, but I was so unhappy. And when I finally granted myself my birthright, I was so much happier. Okay, so this card ties directly into this card. Guys, this card is your fire card. What can you bring to help you do this? Guys, it literally means ancestors. You've got a team behind you, and they have their arms open wide to you, and they're wanting to accept you and embrace you and everything, but you're denying them. You're turning a blind eye to them. Guys, they are there waiting for you. They want to help guide you through all of this, but you won't let them. You're denying them that access. So this ties directly in with this. If you accept your ancestors and embrace them and everything, they can help you through your birthright and help you learn how to trust yourself completely and totally. And then your final card, oh no, not your final card, because you have one more. Water. How do I move on from this issue? It's Falcon. And it says observation. The first thing that I think of when I think of a falcon is that it just flies silently and glides through the air, and then knows when precisely to strike. That's exactly what you need to do here. Maybe you need to take some time to study. Maybe you need to take some time just to yourself, because this is telling me that you need to take that time to do that observation and just observe and figure out how to go about this, best way to go about it, etc., etc. Okay, so to recap here, you've got this great magical energy about you, but there were two events. One, like, telling you not to do it, and one massive event. And I feel like it's deep in my gut that this virus that we got going around right now, it's what caused your spiritual awakening, and you're doubting yourself heavily. But your spirit animal wants you to know that if you accept your ancestors and accept your birthright and just create and manifest completely, you can get over this and get into that magical space that you are destined to be in. Finally, we got the wisdom card, the owl. This could be either a deity that's calling to you. It could be your actual spirit guide. It could literally be an owl. But with wisdom, let's go ahead and read what it says from the book real fast. It's number 4. Okay. Open your eyes and see what is really there. Look for the whole truth, as you may only be seeing a part of the whole. Through experience, we can gain the wisdom to not make the same mistakes again. Develop your learning and intelligence, as education is never wasted. Negotiation is better than attack. So that would definitely tie in with this one. Some deities, if you decide to go that path, it requires a lot of research on your part, especially with the Morgan. This also could just be, taking time to learn your magical energy, your magical gift, and learning, like, maybe who your family is. It could also just literally be your spirit guide just told you, hey, I'm here, I'm an owl. It could just be that too. So once again, I really do hope that this helps you come answer some questions, because I feel like you've got a lot of questions, and you're really engaging on this spiritual journey, and you don't know exactly how to go about it. Just take that time, do your research. You don't have to answer this all right now. Just don't deny yourself this core aspect of you, because it's really important. Okay, let's go ahead and thank the spirit of the earth. Earth, thank you so much for helping us, guide us, helping us learn, helping us know your message, and helping us deliver this message to pile number 4. Please help pile number 4 come into their true being. Help them be who they are undeniably, just like you are, Earth. And help them learn let's not say learn. Help them know how to be steadfast and strong, just like you are. Okay, there you are, pile number 4. I really hope that resonated with you and answered some questions that you may have burning in that mind of yours. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you this week. I really do hope that it resonated with you and help you just figure out exactly what your spirit animal is trying to tell you. This was jam-packed full of information. Like, I highly recommend this deck. If you guys are readers, oh my gosh, this deck was so easy to work with, and it was so fun. And the art, oh man, this art. Oh, it's upside down. Of course I got the tarantula. Oh man, that's just so beautiful. Look at that, it's so beautiful. So yeah, if you guys are readers, I highly recommend this deck. It is amazing to work with. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and go. Please stay safe. I know that this is a very scary time right now, but everything will be okay. I know it will be. And I'm a psychic, so. So anyway, blessed be everybody. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.